2004 Honda CRV had a very interesting fix to a problem that I wanted to share with you guys. So I get a call from one of my wholesale accounts that one of his clients is stuck. The car is stuck, you know, they made it to wherever they were going, and the car, now he's stuck on the brake, the car won't come out of park. Again, 04 Honda CRV. So nobody knew what to do, so we went down there, we did the emergency release, got it out of park, we drove the car here, and let me just say that the car did not shift correctly as we were driving it here. Like, you know, didn't shift, shifted late. We get here, we put the car in park, and then we scan it. I don't know where the paperwork is. I've been looking for it and I can't find it. But the only code it has was a throttle position sensor code. All right, and this throttle position sensor reads in percentage. Some of them read in voltage. It'll start at a half a volt and go up to 4.5 volts. But this reads in percentage. So of course at closed throttle you really should see 0% on the throttle position sensor PID looking at the scan tool. And we saw 32%. But we're not kind of connecting the dots yet. We're saying, well, there is our shifting problem. You know, so maybe we should straighten that out. And then we're inside, me and one of the lead techs that is very good. He does a lot of the electrical stuff here. So we're going back and forth, and he says, gee, I wonder if the throttle position sensor is keeping the car from coming out of park. You know, we checked the brake lights are working, we were playing with the switch, we checked that, everything's checking out good. And he says, geez, you know, I wonder, just in conversation, he goes, any chance the TPS could keep it from coming out of park? I says, well, I never heard of that, but I guess the only way to tell, unplug it, see what happens. So we walk out to the car, we unplug the throttle position sensor, comes right out of park. Plug it back in, won't come out of park. Look again at the scan tool and the percentage on the throttle position sensor at closed throttle. I don't remember if I think the engine was running. I don't know if we tried key on, engine off. We probably didn't, because we had the Autel out there and the car was running. We were looking at live data and stuff like that. So again, 32%, and unplug it, it comes out of park. So, and again, the car didn't shift good because at 32%, you know, the computer thinks you have your foot down on the gas, and you know, at 32%, so the engine would be racing, but in this case, it wasn't. And that was the problem, why this car did not come out of park. The throttle position sensor is no good. I have it here. We put a new one in, we have it fixed, but I want to give you a close-up shot of this, because when you turn this, you know, it should spring back. And as I turn it, it does not spring back, so it was sticking. The coil spring or whatever is in here is no good, because when you put it up to a certain amount, that's where it stays, and that's why it was reading 32%. And then we're going to put the scan tool on the car, and when the new one was in, we were running a test with it, stepping on the gas, and the technician, whose name is Gary also, said it seems like above 2%, the shifter won't come out of park. And then it's funny because we have an 01 Honda Accord here, and we said, let's see what we got with this one. Let's put the, you know, scanner on it and see what, and the percentage was 0, so well, that's good. But on the Honda, he had said that it had to get up to 18% before the car would not come out of park. So, but I want to show you guys, you know, this is something that we're just, you know, we've never seen this before. We belong to a a hotline or a text service called Identifix, which is very good. And we had called them to speak to them, and they're like, wow, we never heard of that either. Because I had Gary talk to them, because I'm running around here trying to get some transmissions built. I got a couple of 4R70Ws, I got a 6R80 coming out, and I just finished a 62 TE. I got another 62 TE. So I had him speak to them, and they said, yeah, well, we've never heard of that, because we put even the code into Identifix. You run like a diagnostic on it, and it comes up with fixes, tests and fixes. And none of the fixes, I'm sorry, he did something with maybe not coming out of park, or he ran the trouble code for the TPS is the only code in there, and nothing of that said anything about the car getting stuck in park or anything like that. And Identifix, the technician at Identifix, because they have special, if you call up for a Honda, they have a Honda tech. You call up for a GM or Ford, they have GM and Ford techs that speak to you. And he never heard of it, because we put in the year, make, model, so they had a Honda tech call us. He's like, wow, no, never heard of that. So, he thanked us for telling him about it. I'm going to actually call my transmission tech service, ATSG, tomorrow and tell them what we found, because it's a very, very interesting find and fix, and first time that we've seen it. So I just wanted to share it with you guys, and this is on Hondas. So if you have a Honda that won't come out of park and your brake lights and stuff, I'm assuming were working, because that seemed to be okay, unplug your throttle position sensor, or maybe it didn't come out of park. It probably didn't come out of park with the key on, engine off, because we were still reading 32%. This is fixed now. Now it comes out of park. But just thinking, all right, let me see who this is. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So again, key on, engine off. The scan tool was probably still reading 32%. So I don't believe it came out of park. And the only time it did come out of park is when we unplugged the throttle position sensor, and then it came right out. So I have the bad one here, and I just want to get a close-up shot and show you guys as I turn it, it gets stuck. As you turn these throttle position sensors, like you turn it, you release the, like a flathead screwdriver, it should snap back. And this stays where it is, so it was not snapping back. And that's why we're showing 32% at closed throttle when it should be showing 0% at closed throttle. All right, so let me just get a little closer and show this to you, and then we're gonna head out to the car, and I wanna start it up, and I'll try to get the scan tool on the throttle position sensor, and I'll get it to, maybe 5%, and I'll show you that it won't come out of park. I'm hoping you guys can read the scan tool, that's the thing. But we're gonna give it a shot. If not, I'll just kind of tell you where it's at, and we'll go from there. So I just got to wait for a delivery. That was a DHL. I got something coming back from Europe, from Bulgaria, TCM to a Land Rover. And then we'll head out to the car and go ahead and put the scan tool on it. All right, so I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, all right, let me show you this bad throttle position sensor. So I got the flathead screwdriver in here. Now I'm going to move this, all right, and when I release it, that center should snap back, and as you can see, it stays right where it is. Okay, so when I open it, it should, if I release it, it should snap back to the beginning, to where it originates from. Okay, but I'm going to move it, and it stays right where it is. So this was not returning, and that was the whole problem. I can't even hear. This thing is just totally shot. So the new one is on there already, unfortunately, and I cannot show you, but again, you move this. Okay, you see it moved a little bit? Okay, it's kind of moving a little bit, but it's not really snapping back to how it should. So there is the problem there. The TPS was not returning. That's why I was reading 32%. So now we're just going to head out to the car, and I just want to show you on the scan tool, and you know, when you race the engine a little bit, how the shifter will not come out of park. All right, so give me a few minutes. I'm going to get out there by the car, and I will be right back. Okay, all right, so I have my scan tool on this, my Apollo, and it's actually shown in volts. With the Autel that we were using, it was shown in percentage. So the engine's running, closed throttle, foot on the brake. You could see it comes right out, no problem. And here, by the way, is the where your key would go for the emergency release. Okay, so you saw it came out of park. Now I'm going to get onto the scan tool, and let me see if I could do this so you guys could see. Try to focus here. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's the TP, throttle position sensor voltage. Okay, you can see it's at 5.9 and the car comes out. Now I'm going to raise the idle. I got my foot on the brake still. Okay, so we're at point about 8.4 volts. Now let's go back here, and it won't come out. Okay, release the gas, it comes out. And again, down here, we're back to idle. So again, I raise it. All right, it's not coming out. Back to idle. So this is what the computer's looking for, and it comes out. All right, so I just wanted to share that fix with you guys, you know, this problem and the fix. And again, this is a 2003 Honda CRV, and the problem was the car was not coming out of park, but also it was not shifting correctly either. Had a throttle position sensor code was the only code, and we found that the TPS was no good. It was reading, you know, 32%. I don't know what that is with volts, but you know, you probably got your foot a good way down on the gas, as what the computer thinks, so would not allow the car to come out of park. All right, so I just wanted to share this problem and the fix with you guys. So as a test, we unplugged the TPS. It came right out of park, and then we knew we had a bit of a breakthrough and we were getting somewhere. So I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we will see you next one.